zipper first.
Huh?
I had to find my zipper first.
Okay.
If you could turn to John 3:16.
Amen, sweetie. Please let me sing in the choir. They won't let me sing it either, son.
And it says, John 3:16 through John 3:19. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth is not condemned already, because he hath not believeth in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world. And men loved the darkness rather than the light, because their deeds were evil.
That's right.
Daddy, can you open us up in prayer?
Father, we love you and thank you for another day. We thank you for grace and mercy, Lord. We thank you for Jesus' love this morning. Bless the church today, God. Lord, I thank you for bless Sunday school up there. Lord, I just bless your life. Just bless us, God. We save those, God. We will see, God. We love you and thank you, Father. Thank you. Bless this church and this church. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Okay. John 3:16 means to me that God's Son died for not one, not two, but everybody, even the ones that were not born yet.
That's right. That's right. Amen, sweetheart.
Do you have tissues? Thank you.
Come tonight. I know you love us.
I'm thankful for all that he has done for me. He saved me. Those doctors did help me, but not as much as God has.
Amen.
That's all that I could ever ask for. And sometimes I wonder what all the other people do on Sundays, which is church, watch football, and be just lazy and not even get out of bed. I'm glad I know where I am and where I'm going to. Sometimes I go out and get some water at the church and look out the window, and I wonder where these cars are going. Because it's not more important than being in here.
That's right. That's right, sweetheart. You tell.
That's right. You say it, girl.
I pray every night and pray for my best friends that don't come to church.
Amen.
And I pray that they will come one day.
Amen.
At my school, they have this group called FCC, and it stands for Future Common Christians. And every Thursday morning, I go in there, and they talk about what God has done for them. Then we all gather around and gather hands and pray that we all have an awesome, great day.
Amen.
And every time I leave there, I have a smile on my face and have a good day. My friends go in there, and my friends are sitting there waiting for me, and sometimes they don't show up, even when I beg them to come. Sometimes they come, and sometimes they don't. Verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved.
That's right.
But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, and his deeds may be manifest, that they are wrought in God. After these things came Jesus and his disciples into the land of Judah. There he tarried with them and baptized. And John also was baptizing the Aeonian near the Salem, I think, because there was much water there, and they came and were baptized. And I try to be a disciple at my school. I tell my friends that God is coming back one day. Sometimes they believe me. Sometimes they don't.
I understand.
One morning, I was going to FCC 2 weeks ago, and I saw my best friend, Takia, and her two friends get off the bus. Takia asked me where I was going, and I said FCC. She asked me what that was, so I told her what it meant, and she said, "Can I come with you, Summer?" And I said yes. So we went into FCC, and she was paying very, very closely. And she told me she had a really good day the next day. For John was not yet cast into prison. Then there arose a question between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purifying. And they came unto John and said unto him, Rabbi, he that was thee beyond Jordan, to whom thou bearest witness, behold, the same baptizeth, and all men come to him. John answered and said, A man can receive nothing except be given him from heaven. I've heard the expression, it's easier to fit a camel through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven. Sometimes it's not always true. Some rich people do believe in God, but the people who don't, I feel bad for them. And sometimes I wonder at night, what all the people do in this world, either it's bad or good. Um, 27. John answered and said, A man can receive nothing except it be given from heaven. Ye yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but that I am sent before him. He that hath the bride is bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoiceth greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This my joy, therefore, is fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease. He that cometh from above is above all. He that is of the earth is earthly, and speaketh of the earth. He that cometh from heaven is above all. Can everybody bow their heads tonight, dear? Everybody close your eyes. If you have ever sinned, raise your hand. If you haven't raised your hand, you're lying right now.
That's right.
No one's perfect. Raise your hand if you do not know God in this house today. That's good. Lift your heads back up. Okay. 32. And what he has seen and heard, that he testifieth, and no man receiveth his testimony. So if you said you're not lying right now, he knows that you lied or not. He sees all things. He hears what you're saying. He even hears what you're thinking.
That's right.
33. He that hath received his testimony hath set to his seal that God is true. For he whom God hath sent speaketh the words of God, for God giveth not the Spirit by measure unto him. The Father loveth the Son, and hath given all things unto his hands. He that believeth on the Son hath everlasting, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but wrath of God abideth on him. The question is, do you use God like you're supposed to do? Do you worship him every day like you're supposed to do? Do you do everything he asks you to? You probably don't. I'm not perfect myself. Sometimes he will call you and tell you something very important. Sometimes we walk away from it. Chapter 4. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, though Jesus himself baptized not, but his disciples, he left Judah and departed again into Galilee, and he must needs to go through the Samaria. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near the sale of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. Jesus therefore, being weary with his journey, that thus on the well, and that he was about the 6th hour. God will call you on a journey someday. Maybe that journey's right, maybe that journey's wrong, but you have to trust him. Number 7. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of the Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of God, and who that is saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked him, and he would have given thee living water. So do you know the gift of God? And that's what God has been to me, and that's